Have you ever had a really bad year? Well, let me tell you about my bad year. I went to the doctor. He examined me and says, "Mr. Dooley, I think you might have cancer." It's like, cancer? You can't be serious. He says, "Yes, I examined you and I could see the tumor and it looks like you have to have surgery." And I thought, oh.
We call it our war of 1997 because it went from Ron having cancer and the extensive surgery and the results of that surgery on him to him having a gallbladder surgery where he almost died because the gallbladder ruptured.
And I was involved in a discipleship group in our church, and I was sharing sometimes I just really don't sense I have faith. And one of the guys spoke up and he said, "You may not feel like you have faith, but if you have a lot of people praying for you, and they have seen God at work in your life."
And so he was home recuperating from that.
And it came back that my white blood cell count was elevated about 3 or 4 times above normal. And he called us back about 11:30 at night and said, "Mr. Dooley, I think you need to go back into the hospital, like tonight." And after he hung up, I just told Kathleen, "I can't go back in the hospital right now. I just can't do it."
So that night, I knew that I needed to let our community group, who had been loving on us in so many ways, I knew I needed to let them know. But it was almost midnight, and I took the phone I'd taken care of Ron, and I took the phone into the family room and sat down to call our community group leader. But I just couldn't make the call. It was like, I can't make this one more phone call to say, okay, now we have another crisis. And so I'm sitting there with the phone in my hand at 12:15, and it rang. And I was so stunned that I just kind of looked at it, and I picked it up and answered it, and it was our community group leader. And he said, "What is going on?" And I said, "Ken, why? Why did you call?" And he said, God woke me up, I guess, and you guys have been on my mind, so I just thought I'd call. And so again, I saw how God just cares for us in ways that we don't even know. And so we prayed over the phone, and Ken alerted the rest of the community group at 12:30 at night, and everyone was praying.
And so we prayed. We asked God to take care of this. We went back to the doctor next morning, went to the hospital, they took the blood work, and the white blood cell count was perfectly normal. And I can't help but believe that God healed me at that point.
It's like the scripture says that God gives us grace as we need it. And he knows what we need and when we need it. And I think at that point, God knew we had reached our limit, and he stepped in. And we just watched God care for our family through other people.
We were with our church small group as a Wednesday night, and I got a call from Brian, our oldest son, saying, "Aunt Judy just called," as my sister, and said that Grandma has had a massive cerebral hemorrhage, and they had planned to have a memorial service in Cincinnati. And our small group, many of whom worked for airlines, got together enough what they call buddy passes to send me up that night. And I remember at one time I was alone in my parents' home. I began to ask myself, what do I really believe about God right now? And it's like I had 3 major hits that summer in a 2-month period. And I didn't have an answer right then. But the next day, I pulled into a parking space and looked at the car next to us. And there were 3 of our friends from our small group who'd flown up to be with us. It's like right then, God was saying to me, "I love you. And right now, I'm showing you that love through other people. People who really care for you." I guess I'm just reminded of what Jesus said in John 13, where he says, all men will know that you're my disciples because of the love they have for one another. And some of his disciples are showing that love to me. And that is always struck me. The importance of God's family, upholding one another when, or even someone when they're down. You know, not coming down harshly on them, but loving them, praying for them, and caring for them.
God just used the hands of those people to minister to us. And it was just a beautiful time for us to see the community of God working together.